Rhomeyn, would you say that success is not free and it comes with a price?
Okay, yeah, but see, a lot of times people like saying, well, you're not successful, you're not starring in an A-list movie, you're not in the Avengers. Success is relative. You can be successful by just, being able to get on the stage or get in an audition and do a good audition. But it does come with a price. Everything comes with a price. No matter what you do, whether you're an actor or a plumber or whatever, there's always going to be something in your life that's going to, be a challenge to you. And success, most people have a problem not with success. Well, no, let me say that again. Most people have a problem with success as opposed to failure. Because most people expect to fail. But most people don't expect to succeed. Most people can, that's why a lot of actors can't handle success. They can't handle it. Because first of all, they weren't expecting to succeed and have success. And then once they got it, it didn't come, or they didn't react to it, or it wasn't like they thought it was going to be. I'm successful now, and I can do these things. Okay, yeah, you're successful, but you're still lonely, depending on who you are. You still have problems with your wife or your husband or whoever, or your girlfriend or whoever, boyfriend. You still have these things. You still have other things going on in your life, no matter whether you're successful or not. You still have money problems, because the more money you make, the more people want your money. And the more you're going to spend. Success is not an easy thing. And to me is not easy just because it's hard to deal with. You're not expecting it, for one, and then it's hard to handle. It's hard to handle. And that's what differentiates the people that can handle success and are able to keep moving on, and the people that fall by the wayside. I mean, I don't even want to mention some of these actors we know that have become successful and completely went off the rack, or just went right off the track, because they just had expectations about it, and either it didn't happen the way they thought it was going to be once they achieved success, or they tripped out all the way because they're successful. And then they end up out nowhere. Under the freeways, you got a ton of people in refrigerator boxes and in tents that were successful people at one point. I had an experience in Chicago where I was in Grant Park, if you ever been in Chicago, Grant Park, and I was working on a scene for an audition, and a man came and sat on the little bench towards the end down there, and I looked at him. I'm like, oh, okay, and I started listening to what he was talking about. This man was talking scientific equations and calculus and whatever, engineering. He was talking in babbling and talking that kind of thing. And I was like, he wasn't just saying blah, 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 blah. He was talking about, I knew that the system and the specifications, and he was gone. And I was like, wow, you never know what people have gone through or are going through, whether they're successful or not. You never know. It's like, wow, that's pretty deep. I mean, to hear this man just a bum, and just hear what he's talking about in his delirium, it's like, wow. So at that point, I'm like, careful, dude. Careful. Don't get out over your skis now. Don't let your ego take you out. See, a lot of times what happens with success, the ego takes over. And it happens to everybody to a point. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't tripped out on some things before in my life. No, we all have tripped out on some things. That's just being human. But you got to understand when you trip out, why you're tripping out, and why what you're tripping out over is really not that important, okay? And you're really not all you think you are at that point. That's why I say early on, I don't have time to be different than who I am. I'm going to be me, It's that's boring to me. It's like, well, I'm so, No, get away from me with that. That's why when I get away from this stuff, like after I record, when I get home, I'm taping the draft. He knows I'm into that football. I'm into that. The draft starts tonight. That's, and I'm from Detroit, so my team has not won in 60 years. So the draft is like the Super Bowl. Who we going to pick? That's not going to do anything for us. Now, we might be better now. Okay, that's another story. But I get away from this. That's why I went out with a lady and we clicked in everything except for the fact that she couldn't turn it off. You got to turn this stuff off. You got to turn off everything. You can't be in work mode 24 hours a day. You got to turn this off. And she was wondering, like, wow, we can't seem to, we're not going to, I said, I like you, but you can't turn this off. I don't want to talk shop 24 hours a day. I don't want to be cuddled up talking about, oh, I hope this audition. It's like, oh, stop. Get away, please. You got to be human. You got to get away from this. That's what destroys people in everything. No matter what you do, it's when you can't let it go and just say, okay, that's this here. Let me be a regular person over here. That's why I dated a woman years ago in Chicago in the medical field. And she told me one time, says, now when you get here, please don't let all these medical people, please don't let my friends start talking and you know what you'll do. I said, what will I do? She said, you'll have everybody just fawning over you and everything. I said, because I'm not in the medical field. And they want to talk to somebody that's not doing what they do. She's like, I said, why would a bunch of doctors and people like that want to get to a party and have a guy like me come in there that's not even in it and that have seen me on TV or something? They're going to come to me and say, I saw you on this. What was it like? And I say, oh, well, it's like, I explain that like that. But what it is like, you got to get away. And see, being successful is part of that. That's what keeps people grounded. And that's why a lot of people can't make it, because success destroys them. Everybody can fail, because in this business, you fail in 99% of the time. So you're used to that. The success is what gets you. That's what gets you. How you handle that. Because at one point, you're going to get something that's you're going to be good at and you're going to succeed at, is how you handle it. And if you can't handle it, you're gone.